What's up, guys? My name is Joe Larsen, local real estate agent and investor and property manager here in the Jacksonville, Florida area. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the costs that are associated in a real estate transaction. Now, typically in a real estate transaction, you're going to have a buyer and a seller, right? And so each party is burdened with their own expenses and costs associated with the real estate transaction. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the breakdown of the seller's side. Now, here in Florida, some costs may vary depending on the county and the property and how you've negotiated the contract. Just know everything in a real estate transaction is 100% negotiable. Okay? But in a traditional transaction, from a seller's standpoint, here are your expected expenses. So you're going to have deed stamps, which is essentially the title to the house. You're going to have owner's title insurance, which will protect you from any other folks claiming ownership of the property after it's closed. You're going to have, of course, your prorated property taxes as well. Any real estate broker commissions, if you've decided to hire a real estate broker and you have agreed upon a commission, that will be involved. You're also going to have closing attorney's fees. So you need to hire a title agency and or an attorney to help close the transaction. And that office is going to be responsible for running the title search, which will look for any recorded financial debt, such as any primary or secondary liens that you may have on the property, like a mortgage, right? Primary mortgage or secondary mortgage. Next, you'll also have the Municipal lien search, which also looks for any unrecorded debt, such as code violations, open permits, nuisance liens, demolition liens, maybe contractor liens, things of that nature. I know I'm forgetting a few, but it's going to look for any unrecorded debt. You're also going to have the Estoppel Letter. So if the property is located in an HOA or CDD community, we have to submit a request to make sure that the property is free and clear, that you don't owe any outstanding dues and fees to the associations. You may incur any notary fees. So if you're not able to make it to the title agency to sign the paperwork, then we can either send out a physical notary to you or set it up electronically. Then there's also electronic recording fees as well that are associated with the transaction. You're also going to have the survey. Survey is not always paid by the seller, but here in Northeast Florida, it typically is. Again, everything in real estate is 100% negotiable. Next to the survey, you're going to have any other service and miscellaneous fees that may be associated with the transaction. This is going to vary depending on who is involved in the transaction, okay? And then, of course, you're going to have your mortgage payoff. Obviously, that's an expense for the seller. And then, of course, if you decide that you want to provide any sort of credit or concession or make any repairs to the property as well. So whatever that cost may be, you can provide a credit or concession in lieu of making repairs. That's just something that has to be negotiated or agreed upon between the buyer and the seller. So traditionally, closing costs for a seller will range anywhere between 5 and 12%. Again, it just depends on who's involved and what's been negotiated. But that's what you can expect when selling your property. If you have any questions and you're looking for a more accurate figure of what your estimated net proceeds might be, you can always call me or text me, and we'd be happy to have a conversation with you to see what those numbers look like.